I may be known for my obsession with activewear, but at home and in the winter, I'm all about my sweatpants. So today I tried so many. I think this is the fullest my rack has ever been, and I am trying all of the sweatpants that I could find that looked decent, were highly recommended, are popular, hyped, from a range of different price points, with straight and wide leg styles, cargo styles, and joggers, a range of fabrics, brands, and price points, so I can help you guys figure out which sweat set is right for you. We're going to be focusing mostly on the pants because that I feel like is really where the fit comes into play, but we also have sweatshirts for all of these as well. So this is gonna be a long video. I've already spent like 2 entire days on sourcing all of these, testing all of them out, doing all of my notes. I might even do like a whole blog post about this because I have so many notes. We took this video very seriously, and even more seriously, I'm standing for this video because I just feel like this rack is too full for me to like pull it while I'm sitting. We'll be separating the video into categories. First, we'll have straight legs, then we'll have cargos, and we'll finish with joggers. And I apologize in advance if I did not review your favorite pair of sweatpants or one you've been wondering about, but clearly I tried as many as I possibly could. So for all of the sweats today, we'll be doing an in-depth discussion of the fabrics, the styles everything comes in, if they come in different lengths, and if they're tall girl friendly because I'm 5'9", and let me just say, not all sweatpant companies come out with a tall length. So very important to me. If the fabric has any stretch, what the thickness is, if it sheds on your gym clothes, if you like to wear sweats over your gym set, leg style, overall comfort, if there's any stretching out, etc. Basically, everything you'd ever need to know about a pair of sweatpants before you buy them. And of course, sizing. So before we get into the sweatpants, I want to first talk about fabrics and sweatpant care. In terms of fabrics, I've been seeing a lot of discourse on the internet of people just saying like, oh, like this is made with polyester, that must mean it's cheap. Or I only want 100% cotton, like why are we paying $50 for cotton polyester sweatpants? And I feel like one person said this and everyone is just kind of parroting it, acting like they know what they're talking about. When trust me, most of the time you do not actually want a 100% cotton sweatpant or even cotton activewear. Cotton is a great fabric, but it has its pros and cons. So first, let's debunk some fabric myths. Myth number 1, polyester is only added because it's cheap. As educated consumers, it's important not to fall into the fear-mongering content and the trends online. Just because a couple people say that you should only be wearing cotton doesn't mean it's true. And people will just say that anything with polyester in it is cheap, but there are a range of different fabric blends. Some are 50+% polyester, some are more like 30 to 20% polyester, and all of them are different. Just like legging materials, you can have nylon and spandex or polyester and spandex and have them be entirely different. So just because something has polyester in it doesn't mean it's bad. And my case for a cotton poly blend in terms of sweatpants, a 100% cotton fabric is just not going to have the structure, durability, and frankly, the softness that a cotton poly blend will have. Polyester increases durability and adds shape retention. So like I said, not all cotton poly blends are the same, but that's the reason why brands add it to their fabrics. It's not just to be cheap. Some cotton poly blends are cheap. So again, there's a range. Another common thing I've seen is that stretchy sweatpants stretch out when actually adding a little bit of spandex can increase the shape retention because of its elasticity. So it allows the garment to stretch and then snap back to its original shape. And this can prevent bagginess over time. Honestly, it is hard to find a cotton spandex blend. In sweatpants, we only have one of them today. And just like adding polyester, adding spandex is a balance. If you add way too much spandex, it can be counterintuitive and again, decrease the durability. Next, super quick, how should we take care of our sweatpants? I know about you, but I'm very careful with my activewear. I'm a little less careful with my sweatpants. I wash basically everything on cold. And then if something is just a little bit big and I feel like I can handle a little bit of shrinkage, I will just tumble dry low. But if I have something that I really don't want to shrink, I will hang it dry, but then I'll just do a little fluff mode and throw it in the dryer at a super low heat just for about 5 minutes just to get it nice and soft again, or else I feel like they're not super soft when you just hang them to dry. Starting off with Garage Ultra Fleece. Their size range is extra, extra small to extra large. Starting out with their fabric, they use a 75% cotton, 25% recycled polyester. It's a classic brushed fleece material with no stretch. It has that ultra soft fleece inner lining and it's about a mid-weight. In terms of their overall style options, they actually have quite a few on the website. They have hoodies, zip-ups, bubble hoodies, straight legs, joggers, cargos, plus a ton of colors. So they really do have a good variety. And I would say their price range is mid to high, being about $120 for a full set. I feel like sweat sets are something that like logically we think you should be able to get a really good set for cheap, but we will see in this video, even though you can get a good material at an affordable price, the affordable brands just really struggle with the designs. So honestly, $120 for a full set is kind of the average. The Garage Ultra Fleece straight leg sweatpants, I got a size small regular. These come in 2 different inseam lengths. They come in a short and a regular. These are a high rise, as we'll see throughout the video. A 12-inch rise on a size small is a typical high rise across all brands. These have an elasticated waistband with an external drawcord, 2 front pockets, a subtle tonal embroidery logo, a back pocket on the right side, and these have a straight leg fit. They're not as wide and baggy as some, but they're still pretty easy to move in. I find these to be true to size, but if you want to wear your gym clothes underneath these, or you're in between sizes, I would be sizing up. I find the fit to be slightly relaxed. It kind of skims over the hips and then goes to be a straight leg from there. I give these a medium to high on Comfrt. They are nice and soft and they fit well, but I do find when I bend down, they get a little tight in the knee area and pull down a little bit in the back just because they're a little bit more of a slim fit. I would say that these can stretch out a very little bit, but I have worn and washed them a bunch of times and it hasn't been significant. The fleece lining does shed pretty moderately on these, so expect to get some fuzzies if you wear these over any gym clothes. Overall quality rating, I give these a mid. I think the style is cute, but none of the features really elevate it. And I do have a little bit of pilling on the inner thighs after only like 2 to 3 wears. Overall, I do still recommend these if you really like the style, the color, but personally I would like to see an extra inseam. Then to go with it, I got the Soft Terry Bubble Hoodie. This is technically a different material, but it essentially feels the same. This one's mostly true to size. I got a small medium and it definitely fits more like a small, so if you're in between, I definitely would be sizing up. This one's a 75% cotton, 25% recycled polyester, a mid-weight brushed fleece. This is a waist to high hip length, so with my long torso, I do show a little bit of skin occasionally. It has this ribbed band at the bottom, so it gives this little cinch waist look, and then it's kind of a more bubbly, relaxed fit throughout. We have a full zip, tonal zipper, drawstring hood with tonal aglets, and overall I find the hoodie to be very cute and functional. Our next sweat set is a Buffbunny Plush Fleece. The size range is extra, extra small to 3XL. The Plush Fleece fabric is one of the most unique fabrics today, and I really do love it. It is a 35% cotton, 62% polyester, and 3% spandex. The outside is this brushed, slightly ribbed material, and it's lined with a plush Sherpa fleece. So this is a very heavyweight set. It still feels breathable compared to some other heavyweight sets, but it definitely keeps you warm. And because it has a little spandex in it, it has some stretch. So this helps with the shape retention as well, but it just increases the comfort a bit. Overall style options, there's not a ton. There's basically a zip hoodie, straight leg pants, and a crew neck. And the price range is mid to high, again, around $120 for a full set. Starting out with the Buffbunny Plush Fleece straight leg pants. These are true to size / slightly relaxed. They did recently fix the fit on these. They used to be much bigger. I still do find them to be slightly relaxed though. These have a high to ultra high rise, elastic waistband with an external drawstring, 2 front pockets, embroidered tonal Buffbunny logo, and simple in the back. These come in 3 different lengths, which thank you Buffbunny. They come in a 29-inch, 31-inch, and 34-inch. And I don't know why Buffbunny has been making their stuff so long lately, but you'll see all of the other tall lengths today are around like a 32 to 33-inch max. Buffbunny is a 34-inch inseam. So these are dragging on the ground for me as a 5'9" girly, and they're like gaslighting me into thinking I'm not even tall when I am objectively tall. So keep that in mind. I think these run a little bit long. These have a semi-relaxed fit and they are a straight leg shape. Overall comfort is high. Not only do they have a nice straight leg shape, they're not too tight anywhere, but they also have that little bit of stretch. So when you bend over, they never pull in any uncomfortable places. No diaper butt and no stretching out. Again, very good shape retention with this one. And I find the shedding of the fleece lining is very minimal. Whenever I have a Sherpa fleece, I feel like it sheds quite a bit less than a traditional fleece lining. So I really don't have much of an issue of this shedding onto my gym clothes. Overall quality feel for these, I would say that these do feel very high quality. The design is sleek, the material is super luxurious. The tonal aglets and tonal branding are a nice little touch. And I've had some of my Plush fleece for over a year now and it has held up very well. And can you wear this over your gym fit? I would say yes, no need to size up. To go with it, the Buffbunny Plush Fleece hoodie. This is true to size. If in between, I would size down though, because it does have a relaxed to oversized fit. It's a mid-hip length, which is the perfect length for me. It's a little bit of overlap with the high-rise waistband. So when you raise your arms, you're not really showing any skin, but it's not overwhelmingly long long so it doesn't overwhelm your whole body and just make you look like a blob. You still retain some proportions and shape. It's a full zip with a tonal zipper. We have a hood and we don't have a drawstring on the hood, which I actually prefer because I find the drawstring tends to get sucked out in the wash like I did with another pair we'll talk about today. We have a split kangaroo pocket with little mesh organizers inside, which is a nice little touch. The only thing I would change about this one is I wish it had more of a lapel on the inside rather than this like shinier lining stitching, because it would just make it a little bit more comfortable. But again, overall, I do really love this one. Next up, we have sweats from the brand AYBL. Their size range is extra small to XXL. The fabric composition is 56% polyester, 44% cotton. It has a classic sweatshirt feel with a dense fleece lining. I would say it's a mid to heavy weight with no stretch. And I will say this one does have a little bit more polyester than most, and it does almost have a more synthetic feel. You can almost just tell by the fleece that it's using a little bit more polyester, but with that comes a little bit more structure, so whatever your preferences are. Overall style options, I would say they didn't have a huge range. They just have some classic joggers, some straight leg joggers, and then kind of just different graphics, so I feel like they could have a little bit more of a range. The price range is moderate at about $100 for a full set. Starting out with the AYBL Retro Athletics Oversized Straight Leg Joggers. I kind of hate when companies call straight leg sweatpants joggers. Like, just call them sweatpants. Am I the only one? Like, a jogger for me is a jogger. It has like the elasticated cuff. So to call it a straight leg jogger is like an oxymoron. Anyways, I got a size small in this. These are true to size with a semi-relaxed fit. They're a true straight leg and they also have a high rise with an elastic waistband, internal drawstring, 2 front pockets, and then a little graphic on the front left and then simple in the back. These unfortunately only come in 1 inseam, 31 inches, which because they're a slightly relaxed fit, it actually mostly works for me. So they're like moderately tall girl friendly, but I would really like to see more lengths from them. Overall comfort, I would say it's moderate. It is quite soft on the inside, but a little bit of that rigidity makes it a little bit uncomfortable if you're bending around and moving around a lot. So these aren't really something I'd really want to work out in. Just for the record, I've literally never worked out in a pair of sweatpants, but by the way that these move, I don't think that they would really move with your body very well. I would say no diaper butt and no stretching out in these because of the structure. In terms of shedding, I would expect mild to moderate shedding. It's a little bit more dense than some fleece linings, so probably not the most shedding, but still you will get some. Overall quality feel, I give these about a mid as well. Again, they do feel nice, but I feel like the graphic, it doesn't really elevate it very much, and I would like to see more lengths, and it does feel a little bit more synthetic than some. Lastly, can you layer it over your gym fit? Yes. No need to size up for that. To pair with it, we have the AYBL Retro Athletics Oversized Hoodie. True to size, but sized down for a less oversized fit because she's quite oversized. Classic fleece lining with good structure, little bit of a drop shoulder. We have a little graphic detail in the front and then a larger graphic along the back. This is an over the hip length, classic sweatshirt style. It kind of has a unisex fit. We have this oversized hood with a little wrap neck detail, which I feel like just keeps your neck nice and warm. So that was a nice addition. Overall, I like this one. It's just a little bit more oversized than I would normally go for. Next up, we have the very popular Oner foundations. Size range is extra small to XXL. These are a 67% cotton, 33% polyester. It has a classic, almost extra brushed outer feel with a dense fleece lining. It has no stretch, and I would say that these are mid to heavy weight. In terms of overall style options for their foundations line, they have a ton of options. They have a full zip hoodie, regular hoodie, quarter zip. They have the classic straight leg sweatpants, the oversized straight leg pants, and then also just joggers. And Oner also falls into the mid to high price range, about $120 for a set. Starting out with the Oner Foundations straight leg sweatpants, I got these size small tall. Overall, I found these to be oversized, which was unexpected because these were not the oversized fit. They have an oversized fit. This is supposed to be the normal fit. So these do run a little bit oversized. So if you're in between sizes, I'd be sizing down. These have a high, almost ultra high rise depending on where you wear them. But because they kind of settle a little bit, they almost end up at a mid rise just due to their oversizedness. They come in a short, regular, and tall inseam. The tall inseam on this is only 32 inches, but because they are a more relaxed fit up at the top, they do fit as a full length for me. So I would say that these are tall girl friendly. I would say that these are a straight to wide leg, relaxed to oversized fit. So definitely a little bit bigger and baggier than the Buffbunny Plush fleece. These are very soft and comfy because of their slight relaxed fit. I would say that these are high on the comfort scale. Diaper butt and stretching out, even though that these are a little bit loose, I feel like they're still structured enough that they're not giving me any diaper butt. And the fabric is quite structured and doesn't seem to be stretching out. Some other features, we have the elastic waistband, the internal drawstring. A choice that I'm not so sure about is that they decided to do metal aglets for an internal drawstring. And so when you tuck this in against against your skin, the cold can feel a little bit shocking. So I do feel like I'd maybe even prefer plastic just so you don't have like that cold feel against your skin. We have front pockets, and on the right side, you have a hidden zipper pocket, which definitely elevates it. We have a little panel down the side, simple in the back, and then we have the Oner embroidered logo in white on the left side. I do prefer tonal, but this is pretty small, so it doesn't bother me. And this can definitely be layered over a gym fit without having to size up. Overall quality feel, these definitely feel high quality. The fabric has a really nice weight to it. It doesn't stretch out. It's soft, and it just feels a little bit elevated, especially with the addition of that hidden zipper pocket. To pair, we have the Oner Foundations zip through hoodie. True to size for a relaxed fit, but you can size down if you don't want it to be quite as baggy. It is an oversized over hip length, so it is kind of giving like I stole my boyfriend's sweatshirt. It is a full zipper that's this kind of gunmetal gray color, oversized hood, slight drop shoulder, kangaroo pocket, and again, we have another little hidden zipper pocket. I love that they do this because I never feel like my keys or anything are secure unless I have a zipper, so I really appreciate the addition of the zipper pockets in the pants and the sweatshirt. And I also like the way that they finished the zipper on the inside. It's made of that classic fleece material and nice and soft against your skin. So overall, Oner does feel very high quality, and it honestly hurts to hold it up because it's so heavy. Next up, we have the Abercrombie Sunday sweats. Spoiler alert, these quickly jumped up on my list in terms of my favorites because they're so soft, so comfy, and the fit is just nailed. The size range is extra, extra small to XXL. They're 70% cotton, 30% recycled polyester. They're a classic sweatshirt feel with a bit of an extra soft brushness to them. And the fleece lining literally feels like a cloud. Like compared to all the other fleece linings today, this one just is really noticeably softer. No stretch, and these are about a mid-weight, and they also just have like a nice little flow to them without being baggy. In terms of style options, they have so many. They have a mock neck, hoodie, crew neck, full zip, classic jogger shape, barrel leg, wide leg. They have all the shapes. And I would also put these at a mid price point. You can often get a full set for $100. Again, with Abercrombie, I always recommend waiting for a little bit of a sale. And also just a quick moment to thank Abercrombie again for listing the inseams and the front rise measurement of their garments online. Like no one else is doing that. Half the brands today didn't even list their inseams online, which is absolute insanity to me. As a tall girl, I need to know what the inseam is, especially if they're like not gonna offer like full refund returns, like which some of them don't. So I always appreciate that Abercrombie does that. All right, I got the Abercrombie high rise wide leg Sunday sweatpant in a size small tall. These are true to size, and they have a slim to relaxed fit. They kind of skim the body up in the hip area, and then they have a relaxed wide leg down the bottom. It's not the slimmest leg fit, but it's not super baggy oversized. These are a high rise with an elasticated waistband, external drawstring with metal aglets. The metal aglets work here because they're on the outside, so you don't tuck them in and freeze you. We have two front pockets, simple in the back, and really no branding of any sort on these. These come in a short, regular, and tall inseam, and they are tall girl friendly. They are a perfect length on me. The tall inseam is 32 inches. Overall comfort on these, I would say moderate to high. They are incredibly soft. I would say the softest ones today, but because they are a little bit more slim fitting on top, when I bend down, I did feel like a little pulling in the back. So still very comfortable, but just keep in mind if you really want an oversized fit, I would be sizing up. I didn't get any diaper butt on these. They are very flattering in the back, but I do feel like you could get mild stretching out in these. I did have a pair of soft AF sweats like years ago, and they did hold up pretty well over time though. Overall quality feel, I would say that these feel very high quality. The shape of them is so flattering. The material is incredibly soft, and there's no ugly logos or branding to kind of distract. So I really loved these. And to make it even better, we also have the Sunday mock neck crew. I feel like mock necks are divisive, but I personally love a mock neck, and also like the pastel yellow sweats as we head into spring. I know it's January, but we'll head into spring at some point, and this will be the perfect color. Same material, the classic fleece, ultra soft on the inside. We have a ribbed mock neck collar as well as ribbed cuffs and a ribbed hem. It's a mid-hip length and a semi-relaxed fit with a slight drop shoulder. Again, just no branding. I feel like everyone loves to wear like super branded sweatshirts. I'm more of a minimalist girly, and I feel like the fit on this one is so flattering. It's the perfect amount of flow, but not super oversized, not super long, just a very great sweatshirt. So I love this one. And the last of our straight legs is also my biggest disappointment, the Old Navy dynamic fleece. The way that this was described, first of all, they call it a fleece. There is nothing fleece about this set, okay? There's nothing fleece. There's no fleece. I don't understand why it's called the dynamic fleece. So the size range is extra small to 4XL, and this is a 69% cotton, 26% recycled polyester, and 5% spandex. I was hoping for these to be kind of like a Buffbunny cloud material, which we'll talk about at the end, or something like a Lululemon soft stream. And it is neither of those. I do not really love the feel of these. It feels like an almost kind kind of sleek cotton jersey feel. And it feels the same on the outside as it does on the inside. There is no fleece lining, so why is it called the dynamic fleece? There's literally nothing fleece about this at all. It feels like a slightly stretchy t-shirt. It does have moderate stretch though, and it is very thin and lightweight. They do have quite a few style options: half zip, full zip hoodie, jogger, wide leg pant, and the price range is low. I got the whole set for $60. Old Navy prices fluctuate all the time, so always make sure you're getting a deal. All right, the Old Navy extra high-waisted dynamic fleece wide leg sweatpants. I got a size small regular, and if it wasn't bad enough that I didn't love the material, the fit of these is also just very strange. When they said ultra high rise, sometimes people say ultra high rise, and I'm like, listen, I'm tall, I have a long torso, it'll be fine on me. No, this literally went up to my rib cage. It has this super thick ribbed waistband with a drawstring in the middle. The waistband was very loose on me and just kind of like sat up straight and just looked kind of awkward. It truly is an ultra high rise. We do have front pockets that are lined with this like very stretchy material that I liked. These have a relaxed, flowy fit. They are a wide leg, but they almost fit like more of a lounge pant than a sweatpant. And I was trying to go for sweatpants in this video, not as much lounge pants. There is a difference. Lounge pants are more pajama-y. Sweatpants have that like fleecy feel. In terms of the lengths, they do have petite, regular, and tall inseams, but they only have tall inseams available in the boring colors. I never want black sweatpants because I have white cats. So while I would say overall these have the potential to be tall girl friendly, I got the regular inseam and they are short on me. So just keep in mind they're not offered in all of the colors. I would still say these are mostly true to size. If you're in between and you have a smaller waist, I would be sizing down. Overall comfort, I would say moderate to high. They are very stretchy and flowy, but they aren't super soft. There's no soft lining, so I just didn't love the material. No diaper butt, no stretching out in these, and you're not going to get any shedding on gym clothes underneath because there's no fleece lining, even though they're called the dynamic fleece. Overall quality feel, I would say mid to low. There aren't any quality issues per se, but I just feel like the style is a little bit awkward. The material is just not quite what I expected. I think it could be a lot softer and better. To pair, we have the Old Navy dynamic fleece oversized full zip hoodie sweatshirt. This has a semi-relaxed fit and a mid-hip length. Made of the same material, we have a full zip. We have zippered pockets, which I really wanted to love this jacket for that reason because this is the only one today that has a true zippered pocket. We also have a little bit of a collared neckline with a drawstring hoodie and a slight drop shoulder. I actually think the sweatshirt is quite nice and lightweight. I think I definitely prefer this over the pants, but if you're looking for a full set, I didn't really love the pants enough. All right, we have made it to our second category, cargo sweatpants. These have become a recent obsession of mine, especially the ones at the back pockets. They make the glutes look good. They have that cool girl look. I don't know when it happened, but I've become a cargo pant girly. Specifically, only cargo sweats though. Starting out with Alphalete staple. The size range is extra, extra small to XXL. They're made of a 51.5% cotton, 48.5% polyester. These are an ultra soft classic sweatpant material with a nice dense fleece lining. They have no stretch and they are a medium to heavy weight, leaning towards heavy, but they're still heavier weight sweats today. In terms of style options, they have hoodies, crew necks, cargo joggers, straight leg pants, and just regular joggers. And the price range is also mid to high at around $120 for a full set. Starting out with the Alphalete Stable cargo pant, I got a size small. These are true to size. They have a semi-relaxed fit with a wide leg. The waist isn't super big though, so I would size up if you're in between. We have an elasticated waistband with an internal drawstring. We have two front pockets. We have cargo side pockets. The cargo pockets on these do seem semi-reinforced, but they're not tacked down at the side. So they're easy to get into the pocket, but they can kind of flap up at times. And then we also have the cargo booty pockets. These are about a mid to high rise. I feel like they come up to a high on the side, but you do see a little bit of belly button. So if all of the options before have been a little bit too high for you, these are a good option. These only come in one inseam and it's a 31.5. It actually does work for me. So I'd say they're borderline tall girl friendly, but I would love to see them come out with more lengths and frankly, just more of these because they're one of my favorite sweatpants of all time. They're just so thick, lush. They still have movement to them, but they also just have this like nice heavy structure. Like these really are the best sweatpants Alphalete has done in a while simply because the material is so nice. Overall comfort is high, even though they don't have any stretch to them. For some reason, the elastic waistband just kind of like makes the whole thing a little bit stretchier. So these do move really well with their wide leg fit. I haven't had any issues of any stretching out. And in terms of shedding, you will get moderate shedding on your clothes underneath. Keep in mind when you have shedding with a fleece lining, after a couple washes, that really does reduce. Overall quality feel, I feel like these feel very high quality. The material is really nice. The fit is very flattering. And I also have worn and washed these quite a bit since I've gotten them, and I have zero pilling in the inner thigh area. So this material really is lasting. And can you wear this over a gym fit? I think you can. Oh, see, it's so heavy that it falls off the rack. You can definitely wear this over a gym fit, but if you're unsure, I would size up just because the waist can be a little bit snug. Then we have the staple hoodie to match. It's true to size for a relaxed to slightly oversized fit. So if you don't want it to be super oversized, I would be sizing down. It's an over the hip length. Normally I like things to be a little bit more high to mid hip, but even though this is a structured material, it still has nice flow to it. So I feel like it sits on the hips well. Tonal branding on this one, kangaroo pocket, ribbed cuffs, oversized hood with that little wrap front detail that just kind of keeps your neck nice and warm. This is a very nice, thick and warm hoodie. I'm waiting for them to come out with a zip hoodie though, because that would be my personal preference and maybe a little bit more of a feminine fit because this one is unisex. Next up, we have the sweats that I never wanted to love, but I do. The Aritzia sweat fleece. They are the most expensive of the day, but they know how to nail a style. So their size range is 2XS to 2XL. The composition is a 78% cotton, 22% polyester, and it's a very classic sweatpant material. I feel like the material on these is not what elevates it so much as their color options and the fact that their styles just like, they just fit so well. They're a little bit relaxed, but they're not baggy, and they just look sleek and put together. Anyways, it's a classic sweat material. It's fleece lined. It has no stretch and it's about a mid-weight. Overall style options, they basically have every single pant style and sweatshirt style that you can think of. I think that's another big pro of the Aritzia sweat fleece. They just have so much of it, but the price is high. It's about $180 for a full set. Yeah, they do occasionally have 20% off sales. It helps a bit. So we have the Aritzia Cozy Sweat Fleece Mega Cargo Sweatpants. I got a size small, tall. These are true to size with a semi-relaxed fit, but the leg style is straight. So compared to the Alphalete cargos, those are a bit more of a wide leg. These are a little bit slimmer down the leg, but even as a girl with more built legs, they don't cling anywhere. So it still has that sleek feel, but it's not super oversized. These are also about a mid-rise. Elastic waistband with an internal draw cord. Fortunately, I don't really need to adjust the waistband at all because I hate a draw cord. So I would like to see just like a regular drawstring. We have front pockets, 2 cargo side pockets, and 2 cargo back pockets. And I don't know if you're meant to do like a little seam ripper situation and if the little tacking is just to keep them in place, but all of the cargo flaps are tacked down. I prefer to keep it like this so they're never like flapping up awkwardly. And you get that cargo feel. It just like doesn't like, things just don't get crazy, but you do kind of have to like go up and in to the pocket area. But I don't really put too much in the cargo pockets. In terms of the length, these are tall girl friendly. They come in a short, regular, and tall inseam. They don't come in all of the fun colors in the tall, but they come in more of a range than like Old Navy did. The tall inseam on these is 32 inches, and it's the perfect length even with shoes because again, most sweatpants do have a little bit of a drop crotch moment, not a ton, but like enough that you don't need them to be quite as long as like your flare leggings, which is why again, I don't really understand the Buffbunny pant inseams. Can you layer these over a gym fit? Yes. And I would say that these are definitely not as oversized as the website suggests. It suggests that they're an oversized fit. I would say they're like semi-relaxed at most. So really not too big. Overall quality feel, I would say almost high. Again, I feel like the pro is they've really nailed the shape. These are one of the best cargo sweatpants I've ever seen. But compared to the Alphalete ones, I've worn these about just as much. And I do have a little bit of pilling between the thighs. Again, it's not a super big deal. You just use a little fabric shaver and it comes off. But I do feel like my Alphalete material has held up a little bit better and these are more expensive. So do I still recommend these though? Absolutely. I will literally buy more colors. 2 almost match. I got the wrong colored pants, so I'm just stuck with a mismatched set because I'm not buying another $95 hoodie. This is the Aritzia Cozy Sweat Fleece Boxy Boyfriend Zip Hoodie. I got a size small, made of the same material. Again, this is like the exact sweatshirt shape that I want. So I really like that they have like the full length sweatshirts, but also something a little bit more like this. This is a relaxed fit, high hip length sweatshirt, so it doesn't overwhelm your whole body. As a tall girly, I just don't like to wear things that are like down to my butt because it just makes me look like all torso, and I already kind of am all torso, so I like the length of this one. We have a full zip with a tonal zipper. We have a hood, and this one did have a drawstring on the hood. It came off in the wash and it will never be seen again. I don't really miss it though. We have a slight drop shoulder and it's just like a slightly boxy fit without being super oversized. We also do have that kangaroo pocket and ribbed cuffs. I really love this one. Then I did my best to find what I thought would be the best affordable cargo pant on Amazon. We have a set from Trendy Queen on Amazon, which actually have quite a few basics from them, and they tend to be pretty good quality. The size range is extra small to extra large. This is a 50% cotton, 50% polyester. The material actually feels quite nice. They do have quite a few loose strings that you like have to trim off, so again, it is more affordable. We have a soft classic sweatshirt material on the outside with a soft fleece lining. It's actually very soft. No stretch and about medium thickness. They do have quite a few style options, as well as they sell full sets together. They have a jogger, wide leg, barrel leg, hoodie, crew, and these are a lower price range at $60 for a full set. So these are the Trendy Queen women's sweatpants wide leg cargo. I got a size small. My issue with the most highly rated cargo pants on Amazon is that almost all of them are very short inseams and they don't come in multiple lengths. So I did see some other ones with decent star ratings as well, but they didn't have a matching hoodie option, which was kind of essential to the video. And they also were an even shorter inseam. So this is what we ended up with. I don't love it, but they're not bad. So true to size slash runs slightly small. They're definitely more snug on the thighs and the glutes than most of the other options today. So I definitely would be considering a size up if you also carry more weight in your thighs and your glutes. These are a slim to relaxed fit with a straight leg line. They are an ultra high rise, and this is where I kind of feel like the design went a little bit wrong. The inseam is quite short. I would say consistent with many brands' short inseam, but the rise is even taller than most. So I just feel like the proportions look a little bit off. It's like too high rise for being too short. So that's one of my issues with it. We have an elasticated waistband with an internal drawstring, metal aglets, side pockets, side cargo pockets. The flaps are also open, and back cargo pockets. So they have the cargo style down, and I really like the material. It's just the overall fit. Like I said, not tall girl friendly. The only inseam option they have is a 28.5 inch, and it's just way too short for me. Overall comfort, I would say moderate. I definitely feel the tightness when I bend down. And the fabric does feel pretty good, so I wasn't getting any diaper butt, and I don't expect any stretching out either. I would say the shedding on your gym clothes though is moderate to high because it is quite fuzzy on the inside. If you want to layer this over your gym clothes, I definitely would be sizing up. And overall quality, I would say this is about a medium. The fabric is nice, but there are quite a few loose strings that I had to cut off, and I tend to not have that issue with most Amazon activewear brands, so I don't really like to see that in the sweatpants. And I also feel like the fit is just not super proportionate. So if you like an ultra high rise and a shorter inseam, everything else about these is pretty nice. To go with it, or so I thought, we have the Trendy Queen full zip crop sweatshirt. I got a size small. I thought this would be the same material, but it is not. It is not fleece lined. It is like a French terry material, a lot more lightweight, not as soft. It's a polyester cotton blend. This one is a mid to high hip with a relaxed fit. I would say stick true to size. In between you can go either. I do actually like the style of this one, and it's a nice lightweight sweatshirt. I just wish it was the same material as the bottoms. We have a full metal zipper, a hood, as well as a kangaroo pocket. This material does feel a little bit lower quality overall compared to the pants. I really was determined to get affordable options and also affordable tall girl options. So I found these tall girl cargo sweatpants on Amazon. They're from the brand Zilliu. They're the Zilliu tall women's cargo sweatpants. I don't have a matching sweatshirt with this one, but these come in a 32 and a 34 inch inseam. I got the 32 inch inseam, which is plenty for me. These are an 89% cotton, 11% polyester, and they are a similar kind of terry material. So they're very lightweight. They have no stretch, and they're not super soft, but if you like a more lightweight material, this is just kind of a classic terry. These are a high rise with an elastic waistband and an external drawstring. We have inseam pockets in the front, and then we do have cargo pockets on the side, but it doesn't have any cargo pockets on the back. True to size, if you're in between, I would size up because again, they do have a little bit more of a slim to relaxed fit, and I also would consider these a straight leg pant. So all the affordable options are running like a little bit small. Overall comfort, I would say moderate. They're not fleece lined, so they're not super soft, and they also don't have any stretch. I do feel like some stretching out and some diaper butt is possible with these. I just feel like the way that they're fitting, it's just not super flattering in the back. And in terms of being tall girl friendly, like I said, I got the 32 inch inseam, and they do work for me at 5'9", and they even have a 34 inch. So they are definitely tall girl friendly. I just feel like overall the quality kind of medium. The fabric and the fit are just okay for me. So overall, I feel like I'm disappointed in the affordable brands not quite getting the fit right. After filming all of those try-ons, I actually went to see if I could find any more affordable brands that are doing it better. And you guys know I am good at finding good affordable options, but I feel like with the sweatpants, they can get the material right, but they're not getting like the designs and the fit right. So I did order one more affordable pair of pants that I will hopefully have time to include in this video because I want to have at least one good affordable option. And I feel like that shouldn't be too hard, but apparently it is. Like I can find affordable leggings all day long that are just as good quality as higher end brands. But for sweatpants, I feel like they're behind. All right, you guys, we have made it to the Jogger first section of the video. We're almost done. It's literally dark outside and I started filming this morning. Starting out with, again, one of my all-time favorites, Buffbunny Cloud. Size range extra, extra small to 3XL. And for my cotton seeking girlies, 95% cotton, 5% spandex, and it's actually an amazing material. They have this almost velvety soft outer feel with a lightweight fleece lining. This fabric has moderate stretch and is about a low to medium thickness. So it's lightweight, it's soft, and it's stretchy. This is by far my favorite lightweight sweat material. Overall style options, there's not a ton. Basically just joggers and hoodies. I would love to see a straight leg in this fabric. And again, price range is mid to high, about $120 for a full set. So we have the Boyfriend Cloud joggers in a size small. These are true to size for a semi-relaxed fit. If you're looking to layer these over gym clothes, I probably would be sizing up. They're not super oversized relaxed, even though they're a boyfriend fit. These do have a little elastic at the bottom because they are a jogger leg line. Elasticated waistband with an internal drawstring with the tonal aglets. We have front pockets with tonal Buffbunny branding and just simple in the back. These unfortunately only come in one inseam. I feel like with joggers, they're always a little bit more flexible because if they're a little bit long on you and you're short, they just get a little bit baggier at the bottom and it's kind of like part of the look. So I would still consider these mostly tall girl friendly. The inseam kind of changes with the sizes and mine is a 29-inch inseam. So honestly, I do feel like they're a good length for me. Overall comfort is high. They're lightweight, they're incredibly soft, and they're stretchy. Again, one of my favorite materials. No diaper butt and no stretching out, even though these are mostly cotton and cotton can be prone to stretching out and not wearing really well. The 5% spandex really helps these bounce back to their original shape. And because the lining is pretty thin, these actually have pretty minimal shedding if you wear gym clothes underneath. Overall, I have no quality issues with these. They feel very high quality. The material is amazing. The style is great. I don't love a jogger fit, but if you do like a jogger, these are very cute, very comfortable. Really, the fabric is where these shine. For years, I searched for a jogger with that exact fabric, and then they finally came out with them. And again, as a girl with some thighs, oftentimes joggers just cling to your thighs a little bit, and they're uncomfortable when you bend your knees. Because of the stretch, you really can move around in the Buffbunny Cloud joggers a lot. Then we have the Buffbunny Full Zip Cloud Hoodie. True to size, but if you're in between, I would size down. These are more of a unisex, relaxed fit. Again, this is a mid-hip length, so it's not too overwhelming, but it's not cropped. We have a full zip with a tonal zipper. We have a kangaroo pocket with little hidden mesh pockets for organization, a little bit of a drop shoulder embroidery on the left sleeve, and we have a nice oversized hood as well. Again, I wish they would switch out the finishing on the inside of the sweatshirt, but overall, I do really like this one. Moving on to our 100% cotton option for my girlies who are looking for 100% cotton, we have the Pact Organic Brushed Fleece. Extra small to 3XL. These are 100% organic cotton. The outer material feels like a classic cotton t-shirt, and I was surprised to see that these do have a soft fleece lining. They have no stretch and they are quite thin. They have pretty minimal styles, and I would say the price range is decently high. It starts at about $156, but I have seen some sales, so I think you can get them at about a mid to high price point. The Pact Organic Brush Fleece Sweatpants. You guys, I have tried Pact before, and I feel like the only reason anything from Pact sells is because they're one of the only brands that does 100% cotton, but their styles are so outdated and frankly trash. These are the ugliest joggers in this video by far. Tell me I'm wrong. They're straight up ugly. Did they try at all to make a reasonable design? This fabric actually had some potential, but they just literally said, we're channeling men's champion sweatpants circa 2000. That is what these are giving, except worse. Anyways, these are pretty snug in the legs. Again, this is the kind of jogger I would expect from 10 years ago, where people didn't understand that women could actually have thighs. So I would be sizing up. They're a slim fit with a jogger elasticated hem. And then we have this god-awful elastic waistband. Truly just thin, baggy, shapeless, compared to so many of the other elastic waistbands today. It's literally, it looks so cheap. There's also no adjustable drawstring. So although the waist is not too tight on me, the legs are, so I would want to size up for that reason, but then there's nothing you can do to adjust the waist. These are a high rise. They're also a 27-inch inseam, which I do feel like is a little bit short, so these are not tall girl friendly. They also only come in one inseam. They do have front pockets. Overall comfort, I would say medium. Again, the material is actually softer than I expected, but it's a very slim fit and not really comfortable to move in, and they don't really have any stretch or give. I didn't get any diaper butt, but I do feel like stretching out of this material is definitely possible given the 100% cotton with no elastane or no polyester, which again, if you're looking for cotton, I just feel like, is this really what the cotton girlies want? Because if you want 100% cotton, you should be able to dress cute too. It was surprisingly hard to find a 100% cotton sweatpant that looked decent, and apparently I didn't get there. But you guys, I did try. I put so much research into this video. This video has taken me like 3 full entire days, maybe more. Overall quality feel is definitely low to moderate. The style is not cute. The external fabric is a bit stiff and rigid and not the softest. And the waistband is very bulky. I just feel like they put no effort into their designs, and I'm constantly seeing people on TikTok recommend these when someone's looking for cotton. And I'm like, at what cost? You know, like it could just be so much cuter. And if you want to layer this over gym clothes, I would be sizing up at least 1 size, maybe 2. Then we have the Pact brushed fleece zip hoodie. Again, kind of an outdated fit for this one. I'd say it's true to size, but it's very slim fitting. Everything else today had some good room in the sleeves. And again, like I have some thighs, I also have some arms. Like, your girl works out, we do biceps, we do shoulders. I need a little bit of room in my arms, and I don't want my sweatshirt to be skin tight on my arms. It's different than an athletic jacket. So I feel like this one is overall a little bit slim, a little bit snug, runs a bit small. The length is also over the hip. It's just not a super flattering shape overall. We have a full zip, which is plastic. And again, I feel like the people who are looking for cotton maybe wouldn't want a plastic zipper. We could have done metal. Kangaroo pocket with a hood. Again, just really nothing special and definitely not worth the price tag. And lastly, you guys, this was very highly requested. We have the Comfrt airplane mode set. And my opinion on these have gone up and down. I feel like the Comfrt sweatsets have gone pretty viral on TikTok, especially the airplane mode hoodie, which we will try in a second, but their size range is extra small to 3X. They're a 51% cotton, 49% polyester, and they are thick. This is why I downgraded the Alphalete staple to a medium to high thickness, because these are truly thick. They have a velvety outer feel and then a thick fleece lining. With this thickness and a little bit higher polyester, I feel like comes with a little bit, like, you do feel like you're kind of cooking in it. So definitely not for summer. This is a full winter sweat set, but it will definitely keep you warm in the winter. One thing that kind of got me about these is on the website, they claim to have a 4-way stretch. How are we having a 4-way stretch when your material is cotton polyester? Where's the stretch? This has 0 stretch to it. What a weird thing to say about something that has no spandex in it, you know? So anyways, the stretch is none. They do have a decent amount of style options, but what they lack is leg length options. I'm okay with a jogger having 1 length. Do I prefer multiple lengths? Yes. But with their straight leg pants, they also only have 1 length, and they don't list the inseam. So I don't even know if they'd work for me. Everything is also unisex, and I just feel like men and women have different bodies, and we should have different sweatsets for the most part. Like, I don't know. I feel like these are a little bit more tailored towards men, or maybe they just didn't fit me. Anyways, the price range I would say is mid to high. I feel like their pricing is a little bit deceiving because the sweatshirt itself is listed at $150, but I got the entire set together for $102 because their stuff is always heavily on sale. Like, I feel like Abercrombie, their stuff, you can mostly get it for 20% off, right? This is like less than half the price of what it's listed at, which I feel like to always have your stuff like 50% off is like, just makes me a little confused as a consumer as to why your stuff is always 50% off. Okay, we have the Comfrt airplane mode travel sweatpants. I got a size small. They're listed at $70. I purchased them for $39. So I would say they're true to size. They're pretty roomy in the legs, but they're pretty snug on the waist, which I find a little bit interesting for something that's a unisex fit because women tend to have smaller waists than men. So like a men's size small, I feel like this is a little bit small for a waist. So the fit is relaxed. It is a jogger style with an elasticated hem. We have a thick elastic waistband, no drawstring on this one. We have these inseam front pockets with a little tiny baby pocket on the inside. We have a pretty spacious zip pocket down the leg. Again, this is the airplane mode set. So this is like for your passport, your travel documents, whatever you need. And then we have a little butt pocket on the right cheek. These are also an ultra high rise. I feel like these come up very, very high. Again, something you don't often see in a unisex fit. The inseam is also 31.5, which is very tall girl friendly. Again, these are more unisex. So if you're on the short side, I feel like that is pretty long. So again, I think more lengths would be nice, especially for a brand that only does sweats. I feel like we need to see some lengths. I feel like I did get like a little bit of diaper butt in these, just simply because the rise was so high that it can't stay at my ribs. Like it settles around my waist. And then I just feel like I got like the tiniest bit of diaper butt really really not too bad, but there was some. I don't think these are going to stretch out, and I do feel like you'll get moderate shedding because it's quite plush on the inside. So overall quality feel, I do actually feel like the quality feels high. The material is really nice and dense. It's very soft. We have these zip pockets, these hidden pockets. It has a lot of features, but I do feel like the fit of these overall needs work, and I would like to see like a more women's focused fit. If you do want to layer these over gym clothes, I probably would size up just because the waist is a little bit snug. Overall comfort, I would say medium to high, very soft, very cozy, but I did get a little bit of tightness when bending down. So if you were to be moving around a lot in these, you may feel a little bit of restriction. And finally, the Comfrt Airplane Mode Travel Hoodie. This one is originally $150. I purchased it for $65. It's still on sale for $65 like 2 months later. This one is definitely giving men's fit. It's a true to size for an oversized fit, and it is an over hip length. It is very long. In some zip hoodies, they sit on the body well, but this zipper just like projects out because the fabric is so dense and thick, and it's just so long that I feel like it just doesn't fit my body. And again, guys, keep in mind, long torso. So I feel like, how is this fitting any women if it's so long on me when I am tall? So again, I really wish they had like a more feminine shape for their jackets, at least as an option. I do really like these lapels. I don't know if lapel is the right word, but I do really like what they have going on the inside here. It makes it nice and soft against the skin. And then the features of this jacket is really what made this jacket very popular. We have a kangaroo pocket with a little organizer pocket. We have a zip pocket on the left sleeve, another zip pocket on the right upper arm, and then the hood has a built-in eye mask. And you guys, I sleep every night of my life with an eye mask. I cannot sleep without an eye mask. So the fact that this is already like built in for just like a little nap on the plane, even though I don't sleep well on planes, I think that this is genius. So I really feel like this is their claim to fame. The hood is very dense. So I do feel like Comfrt has a lot of really great features, but I feel like the fit could definitely be altered. All right, you guys, I just filmed for like 8 straight hours today. It's dark outside. I usually don't film when it's dark outside. So too long, couldn't watch the video. Let's go over my favorites. The best lightweight material definitely has to be Buffbunny Cloud. It's the only lightweight material that doesn't feel cheap. It still has a nice little fleece lining and it has some stretch to it. And it's also 95% cotton. The best thick fabric is Buffbunny Plush Fleece. I really feel like Buffbunny has done a lot of work into sourcing their fabrics, and they really do have some of the best sweat fabrics. The Plush Fleece, again, has a little bit of stretch to it, so it helps with that shape retention. And it's Sherpa lined, so it doesn't shed a whole lot, but it's still like ultra warm and cozy. The best fit and design, I would have to say that's a tie between the Aritzia Sweat Fleece cargos and the Abercrombie Sunday wide leg sweats. Both of those just are such an elevated shape, and you just like put those sweatpants on, you feel like you can go out and look put together. You don't feel like baggy saggy, like it just, everything looks really nice, and they've really nailed the fits on those. And the best features, I would say, obviously has to go to Comfrt for having that integrated eye mask and all of the zippered pockets. But I'm gonna give an honorable mention to Oner here because I really like the addition of just like a little hidden zipper pocket in their basic sweats, because I feel like no one is really doing that. And it just gives a little extra security to your classic sweat set. So thank you guys so much for watching that probably very long video on sweatpants. I take things very seriously around here. When we do these roundup reviews, I do a ton of research on the best recommended things. I ask you guys, I wear test things. I look at the measurements, the fabrics, the durability, all the things. So I feel very confident in my recommendations today. Let me know if I missed anything down below. I'm sure I missed some of your favorites, but I think I would lose my mind if this video was any longer. So thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already. If you made it this far in the video and you haven't subscribed, remember, it is free. If you are a girly that loves to chat in depth about clothes around here and really get to the facts, this is your place, okay? We take our women in STEM thinking and apply it to activewear, clothing, etc. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm so glad it's done. It has taken me so long. So bye, I love you.